my fellow scratchers, is me when Ink Nightmarian is Ink Nightmarian 9 to 5, and this will be my last project for this month or something. It will take about a week or two for me to start recording again because my exams are going to start soon. So this will be a video that will take about 1 hour 30 minutes. So because of the long time that you have to wait. So last off, when we left off, we stopped at the audio attacks with the firewalls. How the actual game works, and then you have a bit of time to recover and move aside from any other attacks from that lane. So now we are going to add the health code. So let's just make a variable and call this HP, and for all sprites, and we are also going to get another sprite called, or sorry, variable called max HP, and then okay. So now at the beginning we are going to get max max HP, and we're going to set it to 20 because that's the regular Undertale score. And I'll also add an option whether they want to choose the genocide route or they want to choose the pacifist route. And the genocide route increases your HP but makes the attacks more difficult, and the pacifist route, it makes the attacks almost the same kind of level but you still have the same HP. Maybe it gets harder also if I add any custom bosses, but for now let's just set our HP to max HP at the beginning. So max HP, and also change the plan Y to HP. Okay, so now we have a HP variable, and I don't want to show the display as a scratch variable, and instead we are also not going to be using the text engine, but rather we are going to use Warfame's pen health bar. So I'll send the link to his channel, and he also inspired me to start making scratch tutorials. So let's start making the health. So here we are just going to name is HP bar or health bar, and then you can add any symbol for it if you want. In his tutorial he didn't really make anything, but I'm just going to make the soul sprite here just to add a bit of detail. And we'll make sure this is much tinier than the actual sprite, but recognizable size, and we're going to set its size to 50. Then now it looks like the health sprite that we have, or the soul sprite. And now let's move on to the pen code. So first let's go to extensions and add the pen script. Here we go. Okay, now let's do a green flag click, show, and we're going to make the health sprite go at the bottom of the screen, and show, and then go to negative 215 and x, negative 215 and y, negative 155. And then we're going to do a forever and a if else. We are going to do forever if the HP is greater than 0. Let's just get the HP sprite or HP variable. Then we're going to make a custom block, call this HP update. Then again, the the type of code I'm going to be using is a bit more different than Warfame's, because in his HP updating code that's in his shoot 'em up game tutorial, the bar is moving along with the boss, but here it's just in a fixed position, so it's a bit more different than the original sprite. So just do HP update, do HP update, and if it's not, then we're going to erase all and hide, and we'll just make a show here also. So now HP update, uh, first it's going to erase all, then it's going to also pen up, and it goes to this position, its original starting position. Then we're going to move X by max HP. Wait, first just set the color here, set pen color to the red color with saturation 100 and brightness 100. Then we're going to also set the pen size to say about 15, I'd say. Okay, and then we're going to do a pen down and change X by the max HP. So let's just here. Okay, now change X by max HP. Then we're going to repeat this, the pen up. It's going to set the color to color 17, or the yellow color 16, sorry. So it's very saturated yellow. We're going to set the pen size to 15, pen down, and before that we're also going to get the go to -215. There we go. So it pens up, it goes back to its original position, set pen color, and then it's going to change its X by its HP. I'll also be adding falling healing items from time to time, so they don't have to have an item. Maybe I'll make an item button that randomly goes around the screen and they can collect it by pressing Z, and then it heals the HP by a random number from 10 to 30, depending on which route they're on. Now we are done with the whole X changing, Y changing, and then yeah, it shows. So now if we see this, now we have the script here, how the changes. I'll maybe make this actually 100 size. We want the whole health, the HP bar to be the size of the sprite itself, but I also want it to be visible. So let's set size to 100 and see how it looks. Okay, it looks good. I'll actually just maybe make it nothing at all. Okay, yes. Change the max HP, not the variable, but we'll multiply it by 0.5, so it is a bit larger. Multiplied by, sorry, not 0.5 but 1.5, and we're going to duplicate this and add it for the HP also. So this is a bit longer. Okay, now we have to add how the player is going to get hurt by these balls, fireballs. So we're going to get a different forever loop, because if it's within the player movement script, then it's going to make the player pause for a moment there, and it doesn't really make them invincible after for a few seconds after they have gotten hit. And also it depends the projectiles. Some of them are random, some hurt you from 2 to. Okay, I'm back and I just realized that I wasn't recording. I had a 10 minutes limit. As you can see, I'm using Bandicam and I'm using the trial version because I am not really going to spend money on trying to get a good recording app that gives me much more than 10 minutes. So it's going to be annoying between cuts. So basically what I did is just make the defense, attack, a route and a karma variables. The karma and route is set to 0 and the defense and attack is equal to 3. And if we go to our mode, then as you can see we have a if else. So if the attacker is equal to audio and the attack plan is equal to single, then set type is a new variable that we made, and it's not the type of the custom block we have for summon projectiles, but rather it's a different variable type and it's set to fireball because it's a single fireball. And that's all we did, and it changes the HP. After changing the HP, when it's done, then we are going to repeat 10 times, or actually not a repeat 10 times, but set the brightness effect, and we're going to set it to say -30. Just see how that goes. Okay, yeah, that looks promising. So set it to that many times and we're going to create a new variable and call it invincibility. So basically how long is they're going to be invincible. We're going to set it to all sprites, and at the beginning we're going to set the invincibility to 2. So wait, invincibility seconds, then it's going to set brightness effect to 0, and then it continues the code. So you become invincible for 2 seconds or maybe 2.5 seconds, and then you can see here we're going to now get a different green flag, and we're just going to do a forever. Instead of the if touching projectiles, we're going to do if HP is less than 0, then actually less than 0.5, so then you don't somehow survive on 0 HP. If HP is less than 0.5, then we are going to we're going to do a broadcast messaging here, broadcast new message, and call this game over. So I really want this to have the Undertale game over script. So broadcast game over and wait, actually broadcast game over and wait. So we're going to do when I receive game over, then it's just going to stop other scripts in sprite. So it stops almost everything. Actually we're just going to broadcast a game over because it doesn't really have a function after that. Just broadcast game over. Nope. Stop other scripts in sprite, and we're going to set before that we're going to set our costume here, or the soul type, to determination. For that I'm going to wait 0.001 seconds before, so then it makes sure that it switches its costume. Where is it? Yes. So it makes sure that the player movement, it just switches its costume before it gives a game over, and then it stops everything, the movement, and everything, and then it's going to start shattering, or just a different shatter. So we're going to name this shatter 1, and basically I'm just going to get the erase tool, set it to 5 or 2, so 2, and just make a tiny or actually a big crack between not sure why that didn't work. Is it not working? Okay, I just realized that when I did the code, I'd set this thing to bitmap, so I can only change it when it's bitmap. That's actually fine. Okay, so I'll just do some bitmap over here. So I'll just first set this to purple, then I'll fill it with nothing, and I basically have a shattered soul. Make this a 5 here, because this is, okay, now we're going to fill it with nothing again. Okay, that looks kind of promising, kind of. It's not really. Then we're going to select the bits and make them just fall apart. I'm not really going to be making them fall on the ground and so how you have it in the real Undertale. Like I said, I'm not making this the real Undertale, but like at least have something in common, like at least the soul shattering a bit. And yes, it may overlap, that's fine, I guess. But try to make every bit shatter. I really wish that we could customize how we could select, but for now we only have a rectangular select, and we have a shattered skull that's not scattered yet, but we will add that just in a few minutes. Now we have this separated. Let's make this fall a bit more, maybe just a bit lower. Like I said, this is a big mess, but it isn't the real Undertale, so we don't have to really focus on making a really good Undertale game, but rather this is just a fun game to see how good you are, and that's all, I guess. So quickly customize this. Let's maybe make these fall. Then and just to make sure, we're going to switch the costume to determination just in case if it doesn't get the code properly. Then it's going to actually glide. We have to make sure it goes to the center of the screen, so it takes 2 seconds, goes to 0 0, and switch costume to shatter 1, and also I'll get the shatter sound effect later on. So shatter 1, then it's going to wait again for 1 second, then switch costume to shatter 2, wait 0.1 second, then it switches costume to shatter 3, and repeat 20 times. Change ghost effect by -5, or change ghost effect by 5, and at the beginning of the game we'll just make a clear graphic effects just in case the ghost effect somehow manages to sneak its way in. Then we're going to hide and then we'll start playing the uh, and then we'll start playing the game over sound here. um, I'm pretty sure that's in my Undertale file, so let me just upload it. Okay, so it's coming off the screen. So nope, not this one. Don't find results. Where is Undertale? Undertale. Let's just do all files. I don't know if I'm going to be able to upload the sound effect. Where is it? This has almost all the sound effects, or the the soundtrack. This is basically the soundtrack that we have. Uh, Looking for the letter G here. Most, but okay, yeah. Let's open it. I don't know if it's going to. Yep, it did not. So I'm going to have to convert it into an MP3. I and I don't know if you'll be able to find out the script. So let me just switch to yes, convert. So I'll send a link to this in the description if you want to have any MP3 converted, or maybe I'll just send the whole audio itself in the link. So I'm going to convert the game over. Oh, went past it. The G here is like quite rare. You only have two musics that have the G, that is game over and the post battle. Again, what is with these ads? And I'm switching it to MP3 and convert. Again, I'm sorry if it takes some time. You can skip this whole part. I'll show you, or I'm not sure. I'll just show you right here. Uh, so God. Right here is going to be the just forget it. I'm just going to download this and wait for it to start downloading. Exit this. Okay, now we are back on the scratch screen. Okay, and we'll just okay, it's finished downloading. Just going to go to downloads and open the game. Also, the converter link is how it helped me get the PVC files. All of them were either OGG or AAC or different ones. Pretty accurate if you ask me. So play sound until then and it stops all. Now we go to the projectiles, and when I receive game over, then it's going to delete this clone. And also we're also going to do, when I receive game over, stop other scripts. Oh, where is it? Okay, here, stop others. Okay, stop this script and stop other scripts in sprite, and then so now we should be able to take damage. And okay, so let's see if we take damage. Okay, take damage. We should be so also we also need to make sure that um, the projectiles, they don't delete themselves when the player is invincible. So if touching player and we'll get a equal to we'll set this side to true, and we're going to make a new variable, call it player hurt, sorry, player invincible, and question mark. So is the player invincible here? So this will be in the player sprite. Come here and go to the script where it takes the image. Okay, here. So we are going to set the invincible player invincible to yes, and at the end of it we are going to set player invincible to no, and else okay, and we have to set at the beginning set player invincible to no at the beginning, and also I'm just going to switch projectiles and just touching player and invincible is equal to no. So that means if it's touching the player and it's they are not invincible, then only it will delete itself. But if the player invincible is equal to yes, then it won't apply the score. So let's just see if this is true. Okay, so you can see and let's just see our HP just in case I'm losing HP while that's happening. 1780, 1480. Guess I have to take more picture. This is called working. Okay, for some reason I can still move, but when I say game over, stop with the description sprite, I mean it should work. Yes, HP is equal to 0.5, it's true. Oh, okay, I get it. I have to broadcast and wait. Okay, now this should work. I'll just make the broadcast faster. Okay, it glides there. The game over script. So that's pretty good. Okay, now we have to also make sure that we add a sound effect for this, and I don't know how to find any of the sound effect for the player getting hurt, but let me just see if I can find it, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see I have a different Undertale code right here of Undertale damage taken. I got it from my instance sound buttons, and I've gotten a bit of different sounds also from them, sound effects, and so let's just quickly add that with the start sound Undertale damage taken. So now we have a sound effect for taking damage. Hear that sound, so we can Just hide the HP here. So this indicates if we have taken any damage. Okay, so now we have done basically the whole Undertale damage taking script, or how we should take the damage. So let's now add the sound effect for its shattering, and I'll be back with the sound effect. Okay, I'm back with the soul shatter sound, and basically this is what it is. So we are dividing this into two parts. So let's just delete this. So okay, now we can just copy this here, copy this and delete that. So this is a soul shatter 1. Then we're going to duplicate this and delete the entire thing. So we have no sound here at all, zero sound. Now this, and this is soul shatter 2. So let's go to a soul shatter or game over script. So we're going to start sound soul shatter 1, and we're also going to do this 1.5 seconds, then start soul shatter 2 sound effect. Okay, so now let's see what we have. Let's quickly take some damage. Okay, and we have the whole Undertale script here, and as you can see the fireballs delete themselves. You don't really see it because one fireball comes after us and the other two are either already deleted here, or they just don't exist. There's only one fireball. But that's all for the hurting spread, and now let's focus on making different attack tutorial attacks. So now what I want to add is the tutorial hand attack. So let's just wait. I'm gonna wait 2.5 seconds, and the direction is right again. It's going to have a 1.25 delay, and as you can see the delay or the time here, it means 1 second after every wave of it. So the attack plan, we are also going to name it to hand, and difficulty 15. So as you can see 15, the difficulty means the wave, and repeat wave times. So how many times is she going to wave her hands here? So I'm just going to say 5, and chance is always equal to 5, and as you can see there's 1 and 5 here, but I also want to make sure that I have a chance 2 here, so a fixed chance, and then we're going to do just fix and chance, or ch, this fixed chance. That means if it's a fixed value and it's not random. Let's run OK, and fixed chance is 1, and here fixed chance is 5. So you can probably already know fixed chance is just going here. So that means from 1 to 5 there'll be a fireball, or 1 to 3, and here the fixed chance is 5 to 5. So that means there's always going to be 5 fireballs, but I'm just going to do 7 and 7. Okay, and uh, it will create the clone. Okay, that seems good. So also one thing to mention is that we also need a clone number script, because these attacks are homing type of attacks. They point towards the player and then they go after it. So that's why I added the uh, what is this script. Yes, so you can see set rotations slightly left and right, because we have the gaster blaster beam that's faced diagonally, and we have the tutorial attacks that just point towards the player but they don't really point towards them. Okay, so we have the direction left, right. The extras, we don't really need that here. And now let's create the cloning script. So as we know, the clone numbers, they have different values. So let's just make a variable, call it global clone number or global clone hash, and this is for all sprites. We go to projectiles now and we are just going to do clone hash, and this is for the sprite only. Okay, so now we are going to go back to tutorial, and every time this summon projectiles has been done, or after this whole repeat loop has gone, then it sets the global clone number to 0, and at the beginning it sets the global clone number to 1. Then we're going to, oops, I completely forgot to have to rename it. Let me just rename this a bit, a spelling mistake here. Okay, so set global clone number to 1, and after every clone is created, we're going to change the global clone number by 1, and it has the time waiting here. Also, we have to make sure that we have a very small delay here, like a 0.1 delay. And I'm not adding the hand animation sprite. As you see, the hand goes down, maybe later on in the future if you want me to. So now we have finished with the global clone for the mode. You go to projectiles, and at the beginning, the very beginning here, uh, at the position custom change, we're going to set the clone hash to the global clone number. And since there is a delay here, then the global clone number changes, and the clone number changes right after that. And clone number is only for the sprite, so the clones have their own variables within them. Okay, we also need to make sure this is called homing right, or edge right. We're going to call this edge right, and here in the left right code, so we're going to make sure if it's equal to right, then it goes to X here, whatever, and then we're going to add the if else of the homing right. So let's just completely duplicate this here, and we'll just remove the right code here, just remove this here, and we're going to call this edge right, or the homing right. So edge right, then we're going to add a if else here, if else, and I say it sets it to right itself. If it's equal to right, then okay, and here is where they change their Y position. So if it's equal to that, instead of pointing in direction 90, it points to a point towards not mouse pointer but the player. and it doesn't really change, but it has it logged on, and since we are using the steps, then it goes okay, and it goes towards the player. So we're going to add an if else if the clone number here is equal to 1, then let's just show the whole projectiles here. So the first one is there, and I'm going to set the y. Oh, that's exactly 100. Okay, then we're going to do if clone hash is equal to 2, then set the y to 40, duplicate again. If it's equal to 3, I'm going to set the y to let's just see again here. Okay, -10, I'll say -10 if clone number is equal to 4. Doing it -50. Here 3 more, then there's 5, 6 and 7. For the fifth one, it's -90. Sixth one is -130, and the last one is at -55. Okay, then we are seeing that it points towards the player and sets the y to the 218. So it points to the player and it releases. So let's just see if this code works. H right delay attack plan is hand. Also we have to make sure that the attack plan is set. Okay, actually I don't know why, but I accidentally set the single here. So now we have to get if attack plan is equal to the homing or H right, no, actually it's called hand. Yes. Then we are just going to switch costume to firewall, nothing else. Okay, so now the whole thing here is done, and let's see if it works. Let's see what was wrong here. Okay, yes, now I figured that out. So here we have to also get a new set global, because here it repeats the fixed chance. And also I forgot that there isn't really much of a delay here, so it's pretty much very fast. So let's just do a 4-second delay. My code is getting really confusing for me. So still not working, and maybe and also I completely forgot the whole reason for the score. So after the whole first attack is done, I'm going to change the score by 15 or 10 actually. Then after that's done, we're going to set the score here to change the score by 15. I'm not going to be using the set score because actually the score is going to depend on how much HP is there left. So score So HP plus -10. So if you're on full HP, then it's going to say, and we have the score of 10. Then HP and -15. So again, if we have full health by then it's -15. And yes, you can cheat it with the health spray. I'm just making it quite simple and not too complicated. Or if it is complicated, then we can fix it very easily. So let's see. Again, I don't know why it's pointing at a different angle. It points towards the player, yes. Then what does it do later on? Not sure why it's changing. I'm just going to check here. No. Okay, maybe if I do all around, then maybe it will get fixed. So let's just see here. It'll probably kind of code, but that's already wait. If it fixes going wrong, I think so if it points towards the player, okay, yes, that works. It sets its Y. Wait a minute, why is this here? Okay, there's quite something wrong here. So this is basically the first should be, yeah. I don't know what happened here, how this happened, but I'm removing that code. And will it be fixed here? No, I'm not too sure. If else, homing right. Okay. Oh, also one more thing I have to add here is if the attack plan is hand, then also set the type to fireball. So we should take damage here, and I don't know if this will fix anything here. Maybe not. I guess it's worth a shot. Okay, so the left right doesn't really help it with that. So maybe if I wait, costume name. Okay, I figured out the problem after 1 minute of thinking, and I figured it out. It doesn't say it's right away, and since it says it's I'm looking at the player, so all the projectiles start from the projectile sprite here, which is right. It was right here. So since I did this point towards the player before we set the y, then it only checks it if it's going from here. So now this should work as intended. Okay, set y to this. Oh, one more thing here. I'll set the x before the y is set, and it does show. So let's see if it works again. One more thing I completely forgot. So we can see here that it will touch the edge if it's turned around, so we have to make sure that there is no possible way for it to completely change here unless the player is right there, and of course I don't think anyone would allow this. Okay, actually I have deleted this lane here, so there shouldn't be any problem with it changing, so not sure. And it does start from here and sets its y here, and the delay touching borders or bullets or kindness or clear and invincibility. I don't know. Okay, I mean the fireball script does work here, so I'm not sure what is stopping the homing script to start if left right is equal to edge right. So let's just go to mode and quickly run the script here. Okay, so as you can see, that works as intended, except the Y's are a bit off. Okay, so set the Y to 125, here 100, here 40, and here -10, -50, and I'll see how that goes. Also I'll make like a 1 second delay so I can see it quicker. Okay, that looks good and promising. Okay, so now the script should work, and the X position and Y position are kind of off, but I think it should work much better. Set this to -30 or so. Just fix it up a bit. I'll set this to 4.5. So I should make this more since this it goes faster. So the difficulty again, maybe 20 actually. Also, I should rename the difficulty from difficulty to waves. Okay, and let's just use this 4 minutes quickly and add or create a new projectile. So here now we're going to make something called firewall, and no, it's not the firewall that protects you. Copy this, we're going to paste it, copy and paste, and I'm going to put this right below this. Also, because we have the firewall much more different than how this literally just goes on for the whole screen, so we'll have to make some edits for the script here. So so instead of touching borders, I'm going to do if the X position for X position is when is it, where do this one at 200, so I'll make sure X is less than -200, then it deletes itself. Actually not -200 but -220. So if it's less than that, so it deletes. And we have to also add some gaps here. Here, maybe a 2 gap here, a gap here, and we're going to copy this whole thing and drag this whole here. So we are making sure that this is ready for any possibilities, and there's always a hole here, and there's always a hole that the player can escape from, because as you can see in the Undertale game, when you get Undertale here, for Asgore and Toriel, I don't know if Toriel does that attack, maybe she does, but one of them, they have a firewall, and within the firewall there are a few holes that you can escape from, and so that it always has a hole, and if it doesn't, then the one firewall is just a fake one, and then it just disappears. And not really, I mean, it is a real fireball, but if it gets close to the player, then it disappears. So anyways, we have done with the fireball script. Also, you can make your own holes here, a two wide hole, one wide hole. You can use your different known patterns. But that's all for this tutorial, and in the next week or two, I'll be seeing you, and this will be uploaded right which date it is a recording. So as you can see, it's being recorded on 6th of July, so it's going to be recorded right. I'll upload it right in 10 minutes of this being recorded. So anyways, bye guys, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.